Yes?
All right. Now that my sister is safe and we have the Utran army beside us, we need to discuss our course of action. As I've hinted at already, there are two more problems we need to take care of before we can gather to convince the other royal houses to join forces with us and reconquer Greykeep.
Lakane's Iron Ones, and the Leonida forces.
Iron Ones? You mean these giant walking armors?
Yes. We need to destroy the place where the Purity manufactures them. And we need to eliminate Amaria Leonida, who has allied herself with the Harbinger.
House Leonider has the strongest army in Nortander. Wouldn't it be wiser to forge the alliance with Wolfgar and Hallett first and then deal with them?
It would, but Leonida is controlling the borders. In other words, until we've taken care of her and the Ironborn, we couldn't move the Wolfgar or Hallett forces, even if they agreed to an alliance.
Any idea what these Iron Ones actually are? Golems?
No, I doubt it. They have the magical signature of a human. I guess we'll need to find out.
Yes, though I am fairly certain the Harbinger's new magic has to do with it. The Archfire.
But if that's the case, how are we supposed to deal with them?
Well, according to my scouts, there is a place where they are being created by whatever unholy power is behind this. And it seems that this smeltery, if you want to call it that, is in the Windwall foothills.
So we travel to Windwall and burn down that factory. Is that the plan?
Yes. It's a simple task, but it won't be easy. We can be sure that the Purity is doing all in their power to protect it.
Amaria Leonider allied herself with the Harbinger? Why?
Because she's probably the most ardent follower of the Purity's teaching. She was the first truly influential Nortandian to repent when Lakane's new religion was founded, and also the first to declare her unconditional loyalty after Lakane showed his true face and took over Greyfell.
That's not good. How do you plan to neutralize her? We can't just move our army into Leonider territory. That would be suicide.
Well, that's where we got lucky. Amaria Leonida has taken up position in the Eye.
In the marshlands? Why?
My guess is as good as yours, but I suppose it has to do with your father's laboratory. I doubt Lakane is done with it.
Well, seems like this will be quite the battle.
Indeed. Which is why we need a good strategy.
Fair enough. Then let us start making preparations.
Good. I'll be here if you need me.
Careful.
Corporal Tahar?
Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
Would you be willing to tell me more about your friend?
You seem to be quite adamant about this, aren't you? Fine. If you insist. What do you want to know?
How did how did it happen? The blood burn.
Well, I presume you are familiar with how the disease progresses, so there's no need to explain that part. As for when and where, we were with a small caravan near Everlight, on our way back to Greyfell. We had made camp in a small forest when the symptoms first showed. An old man, one of the caravan leaders, started coughing blood. I think everybody saw, but they all acted as if they hadn't. From that point on, it went straight downhill. Almost 3/4 of the group were infected. And by the next day, a young boy had blood running from his eyes. Do you know what's strange?
What?
Up until that point, I didn't even consider the fact that Mila was infected as well. The thought just didn't ever cross my mind.
How did you find out?
A blister. On the third morning after that night in the forest, she took a bath in a nearby river and I saw it. That was it. I knew what would happen. And so did she. I insisted on riding back to Everlight and looking for a healer. An irrational thing to do, and I knew it. But I figured that a chance was better than none. But she wouldn't have it. I want to tell life when it's over. not the other way around. That's what she had always told me. And that night, it turned out she meant it.
She took her own life.
Yes. When I returned to the camp that night, I found a letter where she told me to meet her at a nearby clearing. I did, and found her laying on the grass, hands crossed behind her head, as if she was watching the moon. There was an empty bottle next to her, and I immediately recognized it. It was the merciful slumber, the most painless of poisons at our disposal. When you drink it, it's almost like falling asleep, very slowly. She was smiling when she faded away.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to ask?
I'll take
Yes,
a look.
Corporal? How can I help?
What's the matter?
I have news. Bad news.
Report.
The Iron Falcons from Aeonir's Blade. They've sent word. A dragon has appeared near the canyon. An elder.
Are you sure this isn't a mistake?
Quite sure. The Iron Falcons found 3 keepers torn apart and scorched in a way that only a dragon could do it. But what's even more alarming is that the Falcons believe that said dragon is heading our way.
Why?
I don't know, Corporal. I just don't know. What are your orders?
Where is this dragon now? Is it moving?
I don't think so. According to the Falcons, it has landed in a small oasis in the scorching desert. A 1 or 2 day journey from Aeonir's Blade. What will you do, Corporal? I know this war is already taking up all of your resources, but we cannot just stand by and watch while that creature comes at us, can we?
If it's a threat, we'll travel to the oasis and kill it. We can't risk that thing interfering with our plans now.
I understand. You want me to tell the others?
I'll do it when we head out. Dismissed, Private.
Madam.
Huh?
I'm still wondering what made you leave Kalea and travel the world to study demonology.
You're not letting this one go, are you? Alright, if your life depends on it, I'll tell you. To make it short, I grew up in the slums of Kalea. A shithole if ever there was one. Just imagine an entire quarter made up of half-ruined shacks with the smell of shit and piss everywhere. And way too many people. Then add the tropical heat to it and you've got the place I grew up in. My father had left right after I was born. My mother is what you call a day laborer. Though the days when she wasn't laboring outweighed the ones when she did. Whatever job there was, she took it. Even if it was cleaning the shit out of Kalayan canals. She worked hard, but it just wasn't enough. We lived in a windowless room and I shared a bed with my mother for the first 14 years of my life. Long story short, after a while my mother simply couldn't cover the expenses anymore. The rent for our room went up and jobs became less and less. Since the mage wars in Northander also affected the trade in Kalea. So my mother looked for someone to help her out, and found one. A man named Creo. He was a loan shark who had it all. A stupid name and a shady beard. 2 lackeys who followed him wherever he went. And above all, a complete lack of what other people would call decency.
I think I can see where this is going.
Sure you can. It's not the most unique of stories, is it? To cut to the chase, 1 year later we were in massive debt. Creo suggested my mother another way of making up for it. You can fill in the blanks. I was just too weak. Over and over this fucking bastard came. Had my mother tell me to go for a walk. And every time I had no choice but to obey. Do you have any idea how it feels, Tahar? To be that powerless? I remember one day I looked in the mirror and realized how much I hated the boy I saw. I hated his body with all its frail bones, his small arms, his bloodshot wet eyes. And that's when I decided to change things. So the next time he came, I fought back.
How did that go?
What do you think? He beat me up. And it was the same next time and the time after that. At first he found it funny, but after the fourth time he threatened to kill me. The only thing that stopped him from doing it is because my mother begged him to. And I had only made it worse. On my 14th name day, I left home and joined up with the Chilean sand prowlers. My mother begged me not to go, but I just couldn't. Standing there and watching this fucking bastard walk into our room again and again whenever he felt like it, I just couldn't. Dying would have been better than staying. The way I figured it was that if I earned enough money to pay Mother's debts, Kriya would leave her alone. Once I was strong enough, I'd come back. Wait for him to show up again. And then, well, you can imagine the rest.
I think I can. So who were these sand prowlers?
A group of mercenaries. They took me in and trained me. And even though they were skeptical at first, they quickly realized that my determination made up for what my body was lacking. When I was 16 and I discovered my magic, one of their leaders made me his apprentice. The arcane universities are a shithole made up of boy-loving old geezers who care more about how you wear your hair than about your magic. I'll tell you the real thing. And that she did.
So did you ever return to your mother?
Of course. On my 18th name day. I had wanted to return earlier, but a contract had me kept overseas for a lot longer than I had expected. Sorry. It's strange to talk about it.
What happened?
My mother. She was gone. Her room had been cleared out, and the neighbors told me she passed away unexpectedly just 3 weeks before I arrived. Her heart just stopped beating. I went into the room and looked for our stash. A small casket under the floorboards. I found it, opened it, and saw all the money I'd sent her over the years.
So...
She never used it to pay Creo as I instructed her. I have no idea why, but my best guess is that she thought it was mine since I earned it. She was that kind of person, you know? No matter how hard fate punched her in the face, she clung on to her ideals. Always did what was right rather than what was good for herself. And look what she got in return.
What about Creo?
Well, as you can imagine, I went to look for him. Right after I was able to think straight again. But he was gone.
Where?
I don't know. I asked everywhere and everyone who could know. And they either didn't or gave me different information. After a while, I gave up.
Why?
Because people like Creo are just a reality we have to deal with. I could have killed him, but what good would it have done? My mother was dead, and no amount of bloodshed and gut tearing could have changed that. The world doesn't give a fuck about your ideals, Tahar. About doing the right thing. That's just the shit we tell ourselves to help us sleep at night. You eat or you get eaten. It's that simple. I wasn't strong enough when I should have been. And that's why I couldn't help her. That will never happen again.
I see where you're coming from, but without ideals, we'd be living in the claws of Nor.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. To wrap up the story, I enrolled at the university from the money my mother saved for me. Turned out the Sandprowler mage was wrong. There were some boy-loving professors, but they knew their shit. I studied and practiced until there was nothing left to study. Then I found out about demonology and the power in it. I quit university, and I've been traveling ever since. Taking jobs as a mercenary here and there, but above all, improving my skills. My last stop was Bar Gagora to summon a devourer.
Huh. Interesting story. Thanks for your trust, Urim.
Sure. Hope you're happy.
huh? There you are. Tahar, I found something incredible.
What is it?
Remember how I asked you for permission to examine your mother's body? Undergas and I did that yesterday.
So, were you able to learn anything?
We did, and this is what I'm so excited about. That jewel in the front part of her cranium. At first, we thought it was simply an ornament to mark her as a member of the priest caste, but it's more than that. It has magical properties.
What kind of magical properties?
It's somewhat similar to the Harbinger's rune. It's essentially a magical talisman that made them smarter and stronger. Long story short, despite her spirit being gone, the ornament still seems to be active. I think we could remove it.
All right, do it.
Of course. Give me a moment, will you? Shouldn't take long. All right, Tahar. It worked. Here, take a look. Can you feel it? It's amazing.
You're right. It's immense.
Well, I guess now we know why the lower castes revered the priests as gods. Telepathy, magical ornaments, they were almost superhuman, so to speak. Either way, I think it'll help you on the field. Thanks again for your trust, Tahar.